Another one. Another one.
Welcome, guys. This is Worth the Download. My name is Brian Brighton, B Factor, whatever else you want to call me, and this is
Just Aces.
Just Aces. I call him Mr. Flex. I've always called you Mr. Flex. You're not that big, though. Anyways, today we're doing an album review, Grateful by DJ Khaled. Some people pronounce this Khalid.
It's a different artist, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great artist, by the way. Anyways, moving on. So DJ Khaled, what can I say about DJ Khaled? He's a producer. He's a promoter. I will explain a little bit about his promotion, or promoting, in other words, and I will passing the ball to you.
All right. So, I mean, going into this album, I hadn't actually listened to a full DJ Khaled album, right? I obviously listened to a lot of his tracks. He does obviously a lot of collaborations with a lot of artists, a lot of big name artists, right? And this album is no different. But going into I don't really had to listen to the one track with it's got that Santana lick on it, and it's got Rihanna being featured on it, and so I actually really liked that one track. So I was actually kind of excited going into this album, like this is a taste of what this album's gonna be like. I'm down for this review. So having actually now listened to the album, first off, it was a pretty long album. It was 22 tracks long, and almost every track had some sort of a collaboration, right? And there was a lot of big artists that were on here. You had everything from Rihanna, you had Alicia Keys on there, Nicki Minaj, Chance the Rapper, Future, and the list goes on, right? So there's so many artists, and so I was expecting a pretty big performance from this album. I was expecting a lot, and with 22 tracks and a long album, but I found myself musically I enjoyed a little bit more of the tracks, but then when it came to some of the performances for some of the artists, I just don't know if it just didn't mesh well, or if that was the feel that DJ Khaled was kind of going for. Obviously, I with the name of the track and the picture of the album, right, the sun in the pool or whatever, right? Obviously, this was an album kind of like an ode to his son or whatever, right? And he obviously talks about that a lot throughout the album.
Yes.
But I just felt like it was, I don't know. I just felt like the whole performance kind of just came kind of a little bit subpar, and I just kind of felt myself kind of meh by the end of the album when I was actually kind of excited at the beginning. I don't know, how'd you feel?
Well, I don't know. I'm a big fan of DJ Khaled and his music, by the way. Him producing, I've always been a big fan of. Obviously, his grunts and yells and all his personality. I wasn't huge on all that, but it's him, right? So do you? He has a kind of a no filter. Let him have a no filter. You know what I mean? So, anyways, now he has a son, which he loves a lot, and he incorporated this to this album, right? He has one track that I thought was really weird. It's called "I Love You So Much," which with Chance the Rapper, by the way, and Chance the Rapper's not bad, but the song itself and the way it flowed, it was terrible. Mm-hmm. But no, talking about DJ Khaled a little bit, he's a promoter, right? So what he does is he gets all these artists together, put them all in major tracks, and just be like, all right, let's do something major with this, right? That's why you can say that this album's a lot of noise, right? And I actually I'm not saying I'm a fan of the album. The album was not the greatest for me, just because it was so long and there's so much noise, and it just felt like you're going all over the place, right? But other from that, he is a promoter, and he gets people like for example, Kodak Black. Who the heck is Kodak Black? Do you know who Kodak Black is? He had one song that was a hit. It's called Tunnel Vision. Anyways, that guy, he added on to his to the roster of all the people that's in this album, and he tried to boost him up a little bit. He had DJ Khaled is credible, right? So if you're gonna get featured or someone's gonna, if DJ Khaled talks about you, that's a big deal for anyone, right? So this album, right? Because of all the mixture of everything in different genres, and it just didn't really flow. And there was 2 CDs. I just found it too long. The whole thing about the sun, it. Put it this way, DJ Khaled, you did not do a good job.
Yeah, that particular track you mentioned with Chance the Rapper was the one that threw me off, I think, the most, because literally half the song is them singing the alphabet, and I'm just like, what am I listening to? Is this like a nursery rhyme he's getting ready for his son? I don't really know. And that's probably the track that threw me off the most. And that's, I think from that point, because I think that's around in the middle of the album, that track. And after that, I almost started tuning out big time.
Yeah.
And but okay, if you're gonna give this album then a score then out of 5, what you gonna give it?
You know what? I can't even give it a 2. I gotta give it almost it's gonna be a half.
Just half?
Half.
Just 0.5.
A half of a broken record label.
All right, I'm going to see how I'm going to make that one work. But okay, a half of a broken label.
It was just terrible.
Yeah,
it was not worth the download for me.
Yeah, it was not worth. Okay, I wasn't going to be that harsh with it.
That was pretty harsh.
Yeah, it was pretty harsh.
That's okay.
0.5. But like I said, there's the one main track that I did like, and so if I'm going to give it a score out of 5, I'll give it a little bit more. I'm going to give it a 1.5. I give it one. I'll use the same thing. I'll give it one record, 0.5.
All right.
For a score of 5.
You're just being nice.
No, I mean there are, like I said, musically there was just a few tracks that I did like more than the performance that was brought to the tracks.
Terrible. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I felt with that. So that's the review, I guess, for that one. Let us know, guys, in the comments what you guys felt about this album. Did you guys like it? Are you liking? Are you digging it? Or are you not really happy with it? And so what are we doing next week?
Well, first of all, before saying that, I feel like people will like it because where hip hop is today. But we'll talk about it some other time.
Okay.
And what'd you say to me? I forgot.
What are we doing as our next review?
Our next review will be another producer actually.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really pronounce his last name. It's it's weird. Calvin Harris. Calvin Harris. Yeah, Calvin Harris. He's releasing an album, something different.
It's just gonna be something different, but we're looking forward to it. So again, guys, if you let us know in the comments what you guys thought about this album, and then make sure you subscribe so you know when we drop off our next video. And it pretty much wraps it up for us for this video. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, boy.